And then rounding out the top 8 is Dylan Kadir Ihtiyar, the number 5. We're underway. And it is Caven Francis with the inside into the first corner, but I think Johnny Brighton has the run. No, not quite, actually. It is Caven Francis then who leads the way. Some argy-bargy further back. Dylan Kadir Ihtiyar having a bit of a pinch moment as everyone around him tries to find some track space. But at the front, Caven Francis with the prime position at the front of the field. Johnny Brighton. Set in place. Looking out wide there, that was Sam Bannister, who started the race in 9th. I think he's made some headway from that. Number 2 going defensive there, Alan Joseph Shortall, who lost some time on the first lap. He's down to 5th place, and now he's on the outside line. He's going to lose yet more positions. He's gone from 5th to 8th in one fell swoop there. Inheriting 5th, therefore, is Tristan Lloydie, who managed to get himself past Robert Bannister as well. Stephen Soden has made up some places there as well. He's gone from 8th to 6th. Francis, Mira and Brighton, side by side for 3rd. Tom Hughes, Clary and Saul Gregory, one run side by side. Gregory to play second fiddle for now, remaining in 4th place aboard that 8. Sam Bannister has fallen through the field badly on that lap. He's gone to stone last, having dropped 4 places on that lap alone. Sam Bannister got hung out to dry somewhere there. The 1 and the 7 side by side, that's Ian Anderson and Ezekiel James, who's been making some decent progress. He was 13th at the start of the lap. He's already gained a couple of positions in the shake-up through the first corners of the lap. Oh, Johnny Brighton bouncing across the curbs there, as we saw on the run towards Garda. That's the section known as Damon Hill. It isn't really much of a hill. But careful not to jump across those curbs beyond the track limits on a regular basis, because you will get a warning, you will get a penalty, and indeed Brighton did get a warning. Stephen Soden making it to 5th position then. He's got himself ahead of Tristan Lloydie, the 2 of Alan Joseph Shortall trying to recover now. He's side by side with Ian Anderson here for 9th place as they head through the S's. 2 does stay ahead for now. Brighton does not look particularly like he's got quite the level of pace of Caven Francis. And indeed, Saul Gregory, last time by, setting the fastest lap of the race, a 51.139. And there he goes, up to P2. Saul Gregory, having just set the fastest lap of the race, is up to 2nd position. I don't think Johnny Brighton is going to contest that particularly. I think he recognises that the pace deficit is there and it's not in his favour. He'll be hoping now that Saul Gregory can reel in Caven Francis and bring him into the party to try and challenge for the win. Dom Hughes Clary keeping a watching brief in 4th place as well. Stephen Soden now up to 5th position. Soden has been nicely ascending through the order in this one. Gregory for now is 0.76 of a second behind Caven Francis. He was once again quicker on the previous lap, even though Francis did set a personal best last time through. So I do think our leader may get reeled in here in terms of pace. It's just a matter of whether he can hold on to the position. Side by side between the 7 and the 1. That's Ian Anderson getting past Ezekiel James. Through the Cafe Bend they go once again. You see there Tristan Lloydell under pressure from Dylan Ihtiyar. And a tap of the rear bumper there to say, let's not fight over this, let's go hunting together. Lloydell, the American racer, was an A finalist last year in the heavyweight division here at the Kart Race of Champions. Would certainly like to be in that position again at the end of today. An international stalwart, the American racer. Francis, meanwhile, doesn't seem to be losing too much here to Saul Gregory. In fact, the gap expanded in Caven Francis's favour last time by. He just set another personal best of 51.200, while Gregory was slightly off the boil and cost himself a couple of tenths as a result. Anderson and Ezekiel James continue to fight it out, and Alan Joseph Shortfall and Lewis Ashforth also getting involved. Ashforth there to the inside line aboard the number 9 in the distinctive BWT colours. A Racing Point homage there. For now, he's not racing for many points in P12. Want to at least get to the top 10 in that nice little skirmish that they're having. Caven Francis then did lose out again on that lap actually. Saul Gregory back into the 51.1s as he has been more often than not in this race. Still time for him to close in as we continue to watch that 11th place fight, and it looks like Lewis Ashforth has definitively through into 11th. Can he now hold on to Anderson and James, who are still side by side? Through the S's, they've been side by side for most of this lap so far, and it looks like Ian Anderson is going to get the best of that, at least for the time being. Dylan Ihtiyar has actually set the fastest lap of the race last time by 51.045. Been very quick. Unfortunately, he's just a bit out of position for his level of race pace. Steven Soden actually just set the fastest lap of the race as well. He's 5th position, as we can see on the timing tower in the 11 kart. Looking quick. Francis and Gregory running line astern at the front of the field. Saul Gregory really has closed in on Caven Francis actually. The previous lap, I think there may have been a mistake from Caven Francis, because as we can see there, Saul Gregory is right with our leader now, the Buckmore Bandits entry of Caven Francis. Over 4 tenths slower on the previous lap than Caven Francis, and they are now together with 3.5 minutes left to run. That's plenty of time for Saul Gregory to eye up and overtake. Can he execute? Meanwhile, losing out to for 4th place there is Dom Hughes Clary. Dylan Ihtiyar has moved up into 4th position then. Soden will want a piece of that as well, given just how quick he looks, and it does look like that battle for 4th place down is going to get quite explosive in the latter part of this race, as potentially will this lead scrap with Saul Gregory now shadowing Caven Francis. 2.5 minutes, less than 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Going defensive there, Dom Hughes Clary, Tristan Lloydell trying to get involved in this as well. Solon with the inside line now as they go to the S's, and I think did Dom use Clary there to suggest he was going to let him through? No, clearly not. Holds on to it through the S's. I thought there was a gesture there that said after you, sir, but no. To be fair, with 2 minutes left in the race, that would be unusual. Caven Francis, I think, scrubbing quite a lot of his speed there through Garda, but Saul Gregory didn't really do much better. This should be the penultimate lap of the race now. Francis goes defensive into Conway's. Again into the first hairpin. Saul Gregory picking up that tempo, applying that pressure. They should be far enough ahead of Johnny Brighton and Dylan Kadir Ihtiyar to stay first and second. But time will tell. A second or two is quite easily dropped if you're side by side here at Buckmore. Both Francis and Gregory will be acutely aware of that. A 10th between them at the line last time by. It's not exactly going to be a huge chasm between them this time either. Final lap is declared. Caven Francis goes defensive again. Can Saul Gregory find a way through? He goes to the outside this time, going into the hairpin. Has he got an overlap as they approach hairpin 2? No, not quite. Caven Francis holding his ground well. Johnny Brighton having to keep his shoulders low to look over to Dylan Kadir Ihtiyar behind. But at the front of the field, Caven Francis has done everything right so far, but I think that wasn't the best run through paddock. He has to defend hard into Garda. And I think he's done enough there. Good run down towards Cafe Curve. Side by side for third place between Johnny Brighton and Dylan Kadir Ihtiyar as well. But Francis holds on to win the race. Gregory takes second, and Dylan Kadir Ihtiyar did get through in the last corners of the lap. He made it up to third place ahead of Johnny Brighton. Hughes Clary taking